Greetings everyone. I wanted to give you guys an update on the progress that I've made on the layout since the last video. Most of the work over the past year or so, since I did the last major update, has been out here on this peninsula, in this peninsula area. If you will recall, in the last video, the main line only ended right about there, and of course the loop was nowhere near completed. This upper loop, I have completed the main line now. The subroad bed, the track, everything is now done. The loop extends all the way around and along the back across those two bridges and rejoins the older trackage over by that interchange. The area here in between the two bridges is where I'm planning a river. The area that I'm hoping to build is a poor man's approximation of Moran's curve. That's a photo of it. Is one of the reasons why I got into model railroading in the first place. So I've always wanted some form of it on my layout. Of course, in this alternate universe, it's obviously CN trackage as opposed to CP. But with the space pretty limited, we'll see if I'll be able to squeeze something resembling Moran's curve here in the middle. The back part of the loop will be hidden from view inside a mountain. So we shall see if it will work out or not. If I see that it's not working out, maybe it'll end up being something else. The base for the small intermodal yard that I was planning has now also been installed. In the last video it was just cardboard cutouts to test the placement, and now the base is in place. There will be 2 tracks in the intermodal yard. I'm out of track right now. That was the last piece of flag truck I had left. So more is on the way. So there will be 2 tracks in the intermodal yard and a road coming in for the trucks. So that's the intermodal yard. The interchange behind it there will be used to interconnect to the upper loop that will encircle the whole layout. We'll go across that lift-out bridge over the top of it, and then along the sill all the way around, and eventually we'll rejoin the main line back at that interchange. So that'll be the upper loop all the way around there. The bridge that you saw at the beginning of the video, this bridge right here, is a lift-out bridge. The bridge structure itself is temporary for the time being. It is there until the upper loop is completed, at which point I will have to replace it. As I mentioned, it is a lift-out bridge. Power is connected right there using computer drive connectors on both sides. And some of the cabling back there is not fully cleaned up yet. That will come. But so the bridge is powered, obviously, and the approaches to the bridge, the way I set it up, is that with the bridge removed, the power on the approaches both on this side as well as over here is disconnected, so that trains will not be able to plunge into the abyss with the bridge removed. There will be no power unless I'm backing a train in. So at least some form of insurance. In this area, which is not completed, the intermodal yard will of course be behind the divider, so it will not be visible from this vantage point when the layout is done, but the divider will be there, and on this side of the divider I'm planning another area with a few industries. There will be a siding coming off the main line right there. The siding will circle just inside the mainline track and rejoin the main line up there behind the intermodal yard. And there will be a few spurs off of it to 2 or 3 industries that will be in this section. In the coal mine area, I have partially built a flood loader. As you can see, it's not yet completed. The bin is painted and assembled. The rest of the structure is partially assembled but not yet painted, and neither is the roof, of course. I just felt like putting something here to have something to look at. Felt like building something, so I partially put that together just to provide some scenery. What else? I think those are the major updates over the past year or so in terms of the track and the layout. In other changes to the layout, I have moved from power cab to a booster. You can kind of see the SB5 booster sitting inside there. A little bit dark, so probably hard to see. And also districted the layout into a number of sections, each protected by its own circuit breaker or reverser. The way that the districts are set up are, I have several in the layout. The first one goes from that interchange, the inner loop out to about this turnout right here, the back of the turnout. And then that same district also on the back part of the main line, from that interchange along the back of the layout here and to just beyond the bridge. That's district number 1. Continuing on, there is a reversing section on the main line that comes right back to this turnout. That's one reversing section. Then from that interchange along the back part of the main, going up that hill across the bridges, that's also a reversing section. There are 2 reversing sections on the main line with the topology that I decided to go with, and that reversing section ends at the interchange, and then the interchange and the rest of this main line is the last district, and that of course comes back to that interchange right there. So this last district will also be providing power to the grain elevator, and of course the industries here and the intermodal yard. There is a separate district, power district for the yard. So the yard will be on its own district when it's completed. And another separate district for the upper loop that goes along the cells of this room. There's a separate reverser, of course, for the staging loop for the coal mine. And that one is not located on the main panel, on the main board under the table that you saw. It's down underneath this section. And another reverser will be installed here for this Y. The breaker panel, of course, right now sitting on the box on a temporary basis. I will eventually be mounted back there on the wall when all is said and done. And below it will be another panel for block detectors. All the trackage is gapped and separated to allow signaling, blocks and signaling, so that will come in a later part. So those are the main updates. Next on the agenda will be probably completion of this section right here. I'm going to try to work on this area, complete this area with the industries and associated trackage and switches and everything else. So get that built up. That's going to be next. And one of the other things that I wanted to do here in this town is change the layout of the town. I mentioned in the past videos that the town is based on High River, Alberta, even though this town is called Highwood. But in my quest to make it a more accurate facsimile of the real High River, Alberta, I decided to change how this town is laid out, make this area look more like the downtown of High River, move things around a bit. So I made a plan, and eventually we'll transform this. It'll have a few more streets. Will be a little more busy, and the farm will move from this area right here to the lift out that will go into this opening. So those are the major plans. Hopefully you enjoyed this update. If you did, please like, subscribe to get another update. Hopefully next one will take less than a year. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.